We should be live. I think we are. Welcome back to Farmers Corners FC for episode 32, and this one is live on YouTube. So if you're listening to the podcast, I know that it's been recorded live, and I'll try and make sure that it's as clear as it usually is when it's just a simple podcast. Coming to my channel, Farmers Corners FC, of course, on YouTube. If you want to see those lives and share, subscribe, please share the love. It's the last of the season for Ligue, but there's going to be a lot going on this summer, of course, with the Euro. I'm going to do a few specials with some people who do know a lot more than me about their own club in France and who do speak English as well, just to do a bit of a review of the season and a preview of the next season. So I'll make sure that I keep this channel entertaining and that I keep talking about French football as much as possible. We're set to win the Euro. There's only one star on that jacket behind me, but we all know that there's two World Cup won. So we are favorite for the Euro. We definitely will follow and talk about it while France plays that Euro. Today we're going to talk about obviously the last game of the season in Ligue 1. We're just going to talk about the scores quickly, and more importantly, what we're going to discuss is Lille champion. 10 years after they were last champion, and what that meant for other clubs like Paris Saint-Germain and Lyon if they really fail this season, not being able to get the title over Lille. We'll talk about the news in Ligue 1. A lot has happened in the last 3 days, and that's why I didn't want to do the podcast straight away on Monday, because I knew that things were going to definitely happen, and it did. Some coaches are gone. A lot of transfer news already for Lille, for Rennes. A lot of players at the end of their contract as well who have just basically left France now. And we'll finish with my best 11 of the season in Ligue 1, where I'll give you the 11 players that I thought were deserving of being on that best team of the season with the best coach as well, of course, which is not a secret. Should be pretty easy to guess, of course. If we go to the beginning of the podcast, let's start with Lille. Lille, who finished champion. And how did they finish champion? They finished champion by winning in Angers last week. So let's talk about the game day 38 in Ligue 1 and what that gave us. So 10 games, of course. Lille, by winning in Angers 2-1. They were winning 2-0 at halftime, and then they basically conceded a goal at the last second by Fulgini. By winning 2-1, they made sure that they were going to get crowned champion of Ligue 1. Paris Saint-Germain, in the meantime, won 2-0. Sorry, I was saying that Nantes will be playing the relegation playoff against Toulouse, which is going to be a complicated game for Nantes because Toulouse has been pretty good in Ligue 2 this season. It's going to be on two legs. The first game is on Thursday morning, Wednesday night. On Friday morning, Thursday night, and the second game is on Monday morning or Sunday night. So two games this week to decide who from Nantes or Toulouse will be in Ligue 1 next season. All right, let's talk about Lille and what does that mean for Lille to be champions. Well, they are deserving champion. They had such a fantastic season. A quick look at the statistic. In 38 games, they won 24 times and they lost only 3 times, and their losses are against Brest, Angers and Nîmes, and they all looked like mistakes. They only conceded 23 goals, 21 clean sheets, which is a record in the Big Five in Europe for this season. They didn't lose against Paris, they didn't lose against Monaco, they didn't lose against Lyon, they didn't lose against Marseille. They went as far as winning in Paris, winning in Lyon, and winning in Lens in the last 8 games of the season, which is a strong way to finish and a strong way to make sure that they were going to become champions. They performed with players that maybe we were not expecting to perform. I'm talking about Yilmaz Burak, the 35-year-old Turkish striker who came on for free with 16 goals. Jonathan David, who was the big recruit of the season for Lille, and who didn't start the best way, but still finished with 13 goals, which I think 12 of them or 11 of them are scored in 2021. And Jonathan Bamba also was a good surprise this season with 9 assists. I think more importantly, Lille was a real team, and they performed without two of their best players being consistently good, and I'm talking about the Portuguese midfielder Renato Sanchez and the French offensive midfielder Jonathan Ikone, who are both players that I think Galtier thought he was going to count on the whole season, but he did it without them being consistently good. There were some games were good, some games not so much. Ikone didn't have a lot of good games. Renato Sanchez had 5 or 6 at one point in the season. A bit of a reminder as well, in the off-season, they lose their best striker, Victor Osimhen, who went to Napoli for 80 million euros. They lost maybe their best defender, Gabriel Magalhaes, who left for Arsenal. They've also lost Loïc Rémy, the experienced French striker, former French international, for free. And when they lost Loïc Rémy, they really wanted to keep him, and they really wanted him to stay to help, and they got Sven Botman, the defender from Ajax as well, who is probably one of the best surprises of the season, although the best defender was definitely Jose Fonte next to him, who helped him, I guess, acclimatize to Lille. The best course of the season, of course, Galtier did such a fantastic job with Lille, really adapted to any team that he faced, really developed an offensive game at all times against the biggest club, and was able to manage I guess his less good times. I guess it's a bit of a shame the way they went out of the Europa League against Ajax when we saw what they did in the groups against Milan AC specifically. But I'm sure they'll be happy with the title in the end. Winning the Ligue 1 title against Paris Saint-Germain, since they are with Qatar, is definitely no easy task. The very, very first year, Montpellier had won it, and then Monaco with Mbappé, with what's his name, the Colombian goal scorer, El Tigre, Falcao, were able to do it, and that was one of the best team of Monaco that we've seen. And none of those players, most of those players, should I say, went on to bigger and better things in bigger clubs. Besides that, no other team was able to do it. So for Lille to be able to do that on 38 games and to be consistent and to stay at the top of the league is definitely a performance. Maignan obviously was the best keeper of the season. 21 clean sheets. What he's done was pretty phenomenal, and he's going to be missed because he's out of Lille. Fonte was a great defender, like I said. Soumaré in the second half really came back to the defensive midfielder that we know, and really, I guess, found his groove back and made the difference in the midfield that we expect him to make. Benjamin André was exceptional all season. Not a flashy name, but like especially, and we're going to talk about it later, when they're going to have to play without their coach and without some of their best players. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do in Champions League. Hopefully they don't end up too bad. The way Marseille was too bad this season. So congratulations to Lille. Great to see them winning their 4th title in their history, and 10 years after last time they won when Rudi Garcia was the coach. What does that mean now for the other team in Ligue 1? And the second question that I wrote there, PSG and Lyon specifically, does that mean that their season is a complete failure? We're going to start with Paris Saint-Germain. In my opinion, yes, those two teams really failed in 2021. We were expecting much, much more from them too. We're going to quickly talk about why we were. So Paris Saint-Germain, second, obviously semi-final in Champions League that they lost against maybe the best team in Europe, Manchester City. They won the French Cup. They won the Trophée des Champions against Marseille, which is the equivalent of the Charity Shield. But still, finishing second when you're Paris Saint-Germain, winning the title, the domestic title, is the least expected from a team like Paris Saint-Germain. You got Mbappe and Neymar, who are maybe two of the best players in the world. In the same team, you have that much money that has been spent. They were probably in a better shape before they got rid of Tourelle than after. And then if you start looking a little bit closely at their season, they lost 8 games altogether. They lost 5 games at home, which is the most since Qatar has taken over Paris Saint-Germain. They lost at home against Marseille on their first game at home. They lost against Lille, against Lyon, against Monaco, and against Nantes. And then away they lost in Lorient. There are losses that you don't expect from a team like Paris Saint-Germain. There are losses that you can explain maybe COVID and the injuries and the fact that they had to play the Champions League. There's a lot of things that can come into it, but Paris Saint-Germain has used us to just dominate Ligue 1. And doesn't matter what they're playing, they're still going to win every single weekend, and they didn't do that this season. The best player of the team was obviously Kylian Mbappe, but it looked like they were just too dependent on him. Mind you, they changed coach halfway through the season, right? With Tuchel gone and Pochettino coming. The last time they've done that was in 2017 when Unai Emery left and Tuchel came in. And we're back, sorry. Like Mbappe, like I said, the best player in the team. Marquinhos, obviously, amazing. And Navas also. But if you remove these three, which other player are world class? We can talk about Neymar. Neymar is a world class player, but he only played 17 games in the whole season. 17 games out of 38 games. That's not what you expect from a player like Neymar. You expect much more. The midfield has been an issue all year. We don't know between Gay, Verratti, Paredes, Diallo, who came halfway through the season. We don't know who is good between all those players. Diallo came at the end of the transfer window in summer, so he came in September. We don't know who was supposed to be the starting lineup with all those midfielders. What we know is that none of them perform to the level where you expect them to perform. We saw Mbappe being amazing without Neymar. We didn't see the other way around. We didn't see Neymar that good when he didn't have Mbappe next to him. We saw players like Kimpembe, Neymar, Paredes losing their cool way too often for a team like Paris Saint-Germain. The amount of red cards that has gone to the capital this season, we haven't seen that before, and this frustration has come from the fact that they haven't been playing well together. They've been struggling all season, and we just expect so much more from a team like Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, Pochettino has only been here for 4 months.